Hey y'all, it's your favorite Armadillo Lord here, and on this channel I've made videos about Pokemon games and TCGs such as universes, but never the Pokemon TCG despite that being a good match for me. Well, it should be very simple. I barely have any damn product to talk about because of the godforsaken scalpers. It's because of them that when I go shopping with the family at Walmart or Target, there are no Pokemon cards available at all. I remember picking up a tin or two with ease back in the day. But now I've got to deal with the sweatiest, most unemployable deplorables known to mankind just to get a pack or two. Not to mention the innocent kids who can't get cards. Even when I get lucky enough to find some Pokemon packs, I do feel guilty taking them, as I would be contributing to their plight. But the reverse can also be true, that I'm taking them out of the hands of scalpers and thus the cards will be safe in my collection. I still do feel a bit conflicted though. Now, if I want Pokemon cards, I either have to hope that the store actually has some and the scalpers haven't hit it yet, or if I want to do some online shopping, look at the listings with a fine-tooth comb to make sure they're at reasonable prices, matching the price at the official Pokemon store lists. The only thing I should be going through with a fine-tooth comb before buying is stocks, not pieces of cardboard with images from the Pokemon franchise. Heck, go scalp on the stock market, open up a Robinhood account, join Wall Street Bets, buy some stocks from a company, and you can try to turn a profit there. Another incentive for y'all is that some of these stocks pay out a little bit of cash called a dividend. It's not much, but if you keep buying and the stock doesn't end at the dividend or go bust, it'll add up. Sure, depending on the company, you'll be helping finance the misery of others, but if you leave the Pokemon TCG and go to the stock market instead, you'll let the kids and genuine collectors get some crumbs of happiness. But I doubt y'all will do that and just keep on screwing over normie fans who just want to collect in peace and be happy. So while I will be purchasing some Pokemon cards when I get the chance, and when they're reasonably priced and not coming from a scalper, I'll just collect from other TCGs such as Star Wars Unlimited and Universes till things cool down in the Pokemon market. And I would love for that market to cool down as soon as possible, so here's some things that could help. For retailers, follow what some targets are doing and cut the product's plastic such as EBTs and tins, because for the scalpers, it ruins the value of the products, and for us collectors, it helps us open the products quicker to see what we've pulled. Even then, implement a product limit for not only the individuals but also groups. My friend told me about how a family of 4 would always come into our local card shop, and each member would buy a Mega Greninja EX Premium Collection box, wiping out half of the store stock. Now, I don't want to get into serious trouble, so I'll say that there's a good chance the entire family likes Pokemon, as many 90s kids and babies grew up with the franchise to eventually have kids of their own and pass down that love of the franchise to their kin. My best friend is a prime example, as I've seen him opening Pokemon card packs and getting Legend ZA with them. But it's still not a good look to have your kids and then you and your partner each buy products technically following the product limit. Moving on from that point, something that does help keep products stocked on shelves but is scummy like the scalpers is overcharging for what the products are normally listed at. A prime example that happened to me recently is when I went to a local gas station, and as I was at the counter, I happened to see a stand that was full of Pokemon cards. Seeing that it seemed not to have been touched, I asked the clerk how much the packs cost. They told me that a single pack cost $14, so it's no wonder the stand wasn't picked clean. They told me that it was a deterrent to scalpers, but I see it as a way for the gas station to price gouge a weary or unsuspecting traveler. Heck, I recently made a purchase from Target for a 3-pack combo with a rare card, and that cost me $15, so I can spend $1 more for 2 more packs at Target, so long as a grubby scalper doesn't take them all. And don't get me started on places like GameStop copying the scalpers by price gouging as well, especially the upcoming 30th anniversary set that I'm doubtful I'll get my hands on without getting charged an arm and leg for it. So at least one retailer that I can truly trust for a correct price would be the Pokemon Center, but that's a whole other issue with cards being out of stock almost all the time there thanks to the bots. Now that gets me to my next point, and this is primarily concerning the Pokemon Center. They really need to implement a print-on-demand type of system for their card products when they're out of stock. A way to make sure this system doesn't get abused or clogged up too much would be to limit the account to 2 print-on-demand orders and only to place another order once their current order has been delivered. I don't care if the order takes months to eventually be delivered, I just want to avoid giving the scalpers money for screwing people over. I've gone months without buying even a single Pokemon pack. I can wait the same amount of time just for my cards from the Pokemon Center to arrive. Now this is where we take a controversial turn. If the system gets royally screwed over by the scammers and their bots, then a safeguard to put in place would be that you have to provide an acceptable form of ID to the system so that you can place the order. Yes, I know that giving your ID to a corporation is very unpopular and comes with risks. See the backlash to Discord trying to implement age verification and the risks of it leaking on the dark web. but this would be a last resort if the scalpers get too out of hand with this. Overall, I just want to go back to collecting Pokemon cards in peace, either with the scalpers taking a hike from the franchise or wait it out with other TCGs. Still, the Pokemon community returns to some type of normalcy. That's enough ranting about the state of the Pokemon TCG. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.